Hey everybody, it's ECAP here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of March 25th. As always, we're going to start off by thanking the wonderful Patreon subscribers. We have Mario Casillas, Rep Halley Rocks, Nick Rada, and Peter Burnham. Thank you guys so much for that support. And now, let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in World of Warcraft this week. Let's start with like the events and stuff first. Probably first thing for a lot of people is going to be the Raid Finder version of Gallywix will be open. So if you've been waiting because you like to do the Raid Finder version, which that's the most common version, Gallywix will be available. You can finish that quest to defeat Gallywix if you've have that quest from the Undermine. So that'll be available. I know my son likes to do. He doesn't care about doing the full raid. He's only 7 years old, but he likes to do the final boss on Raid Finder. So he'll be looking forward to that. And, many people look forward to that, regardless of age or skill level and everything like that. So that's coming out. So you can finally complete the raid. And then we have Trial of Style still going on. I actually was doing Trial of Style today, just to kind of see what's going on there. It seems like there's definitely new items since the last time I was checked. I can't remember if I did it the last time it was in or not. But they're nothing major items. It looked like if there's anything new, it's like these long socks looking things or like leggings or something. I don't know. It's just basically to have your legs be a solid color kind of thing. But other than that, I couldn't find anything that seemed new. Definitely no new weapons or anything like that, which is kind of like, that would be a very popular thing to be on there. But Trial Style is still going on for a few days if you want to do it. There is a ton of stuff to get there. Like, I mean, honestly, if I had more time, I might do a bunch of them to try to get all the items, because there is just a lot of stuff there that they've added over time. We also have the PvP Brawl Classic Ashran. That's one of the least favorite ones. And we also have the War Within Dungeon event. Obviously, this is a really good event to do. I believe this one usually gives heroic gear if you do this one. So this is a really good one to do on alts. Or if you're just a casual, maybe you're a Delver, you can do 4 Mythic Dungeons, I think it is. And then you get a piece of like heroic raid gear. That'll give you access to maybe a heroic Best in Slots, or a heroic, assuming that it's the way it normally is, a heroic Best in Slots, a heroic Jaster's Diamond, right? That maybe you'll never have a chance to get otherwise. For me, that's something to do on my alts, but it could be something very well for you to do on your main character as well, to take advantage of that. With today as well, we're going to be having some tuning. I did a video for the Rat Paladin, but there's tons of class tuning. Regardless of what class you play, you're probably getting some sort of tuning for your class. I don't know about every spec, but pretty much like every class got some sort of tuning. Rat Paladin got a basically 4 to 5% single target buff. I covered that in a video real quick if you want to check that out, and you're one of the Rat Paladin subscribers and you hadn't seen it already. Other than that, we had a bunch of other changes, some nerfs to the raid, some nerfs to some more dungeons. Mythic Plus is even more nerfed. Mythic Plus is having a ton of success with these nerfs. The reality is, if you let more people, if you nerf something low enough to where more people can participate in it, it's always going to be more popular. I think there's some sanctity you might disagree with it, you may agree with it, with the Mythic Raid and making that too easy. There's like this certain level that they want it to be at. But with Mythic Plus, they seem to not have that full sanctity, which I think is good, probably. And, letting a lot more people do plus 10s, plus 11s, plus 12s. I've seen so many people, get 3,000 score that normally don't push that high for their keys or whatever. And they're very good players, but it just feels more attainable, I would say, with this current level of nerfs and stuff like that. I think that's a good thing, man. Like, yeah, you don't want the gear to be free. You don't want the game to be you don't want the game to be easy or anything like that. But I think just feeling obtainable, because like the reality is, if you are just a delve only player or an open world player, then doing plus 12s does not feel attainable to you, which is fine. You could always build yourself up there if you wanted to. But like the reality is, there's some people who like only do raiding or only do dungeons. And a lot of times Mythic Raid doesn't feel obtainable for people who only do dungeons because of time and stuff like that. And then people who only raid, sometimes doing the high Mythic plus dungeons doesn't feel obtainable. Whereas this season, I think it actually does. Even myself, I'm thinking about pushing 3,000 score for the mount, because I actually really like the 3,000 mount. So I might actually do that. And I would never do that otherwise. Of course, there is a reward, the mount, teasing me along. But I think that's a kind of like a cool discussion to talk about, and a cool thing to talk about right now is that We also had some minor classic news. I don't normally talk about classic, but they were getting DDoSed a lot. Like, it was affecting retail as well. Blizzard was getting DDoSed a lot. Some people were sick of the streamer stuff going on, OnlyFans and whatnot, and like they all died or something like that in Blackwing Lair. I don't really follow it that closely, but you know, I guess people just were sick of it, and you know, who knows? Maybe they were sick of it and they paid for the DDoS attack themselves or something. Because I think some of them were kind of, not all of them, some of them were kind of sick of playing classic WoW anyways. But so that there was that big thing that happened, and other than that, of course, we're just waiting for more news and stuff like that. We have all kinds of stuff that keeps coming out, the very small stuff, but with like the 11.1.5 patch, where we're gonna have the horrific visions return. I think we had a possible date for that being in May. I want to say it was like May 20th or something like that. I can't remember. There was like a possible date that it would come out, or maybe even earlier than that. But it's going to be a fairly quick patch for the 0.5 patch. So that'll be very interesting. It'll be a influx of power too if they make those BFA corruption enchants actually pretty strong. So that's something I'm keeping a very close eye on myself. Yeah, I'm just having a blast. I'll have another vault opening today. Doing my dungeons, getting them done really quickly, filling my vault, even playing alts, doing dungeons on alts. Like, I don't know what this has come to. Like, this is a lot of fun. Like Dragonflight, I love Dragonflight. I did so much casual content in Dragonflight on top of the raiding and stuff like that, and the more sweaty content. But like, I'm having so much more fun with alts and stuff like that during this expansion. The War Within just has been great so far. Like, I haven't even booted up any other game. I don't have a ton of a free time other than this, but I haven't even booted up any other game really. So I've just been having a blast playing World of Warcraft, and hopefully most people are as well. It seems like a lot of people are enjoying it based on my content. People who watch my videos, at least, seems like most people are enjoying it. So I'm really happy about that as well. So as always, I say it every time, but just keeping an eye out for news, any kind of updates to bring everybody. That'll be it for this one. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. That helps me out a lot. If you're already a subscriber, I encourage you to check out the Patreon. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.